Beyonce and Kelly wanted Letoya and Latavia out of the group, and that was because they were talking poorly about Beyonce's parents. And Kelly is very loyal to Beyonce's parents. She feels like those are her parents as well. Because of that, Beyonce and Kelly didn't care if Letoya and Latavia stayed in the group. They actually preferred for them to go. Now, I am seeing where the group was built up as a 4-member group and then being torn apart into a 2-member group. And I'm seeing Kelly and Beyonce being satisfied with it. And thinking to themselves, hey, can we really do this? Can we just have 2 regular background singers? And they wanted to make a plan. And they wanted to make plans around being a duo and then just going forward with it. However, Mathew Knowles comes in and says that that's not okay. That's not going to happen. And he introduces Farrah, who's coming up as the Empress. Now, Mathew Knowles is not allowing for the Beyonce and Kelly to become a duo because he wants to continue the momentum of having a girl group. In addition to that, he had plans to maintain the number of 4 between them. And finally, I'm seeing that Beyonce and Kelly felt like Letoya and Latavia's work had been completed. They felt like it was the end of the road for them, and they also didn't want Letoya and Latavia to be paid for work that they didn't do. That was the other thing. They were ready for Letoya and Latavia to go because, again, the Destiny's Child culture is one it is inviting, it is friendly, but it's very much business oriented, money minded. And in this money minded culture, you had, these teenage girls saying, hey, this person's not going to get paid for this, and I'm getting paid for this. If I do the work, then I should be paid for it. If they're not going to do the work, then they have to go. And once Letoya and Latavia turned on Beyonce's parents, Beyonce and Kelly turned on Letoya and Latavia, and they wiped their hands clean with it. They felt very strongly that it was time for the other group members to go. Beyonce and Kelly felt very strongly about that way. Okay. I want to know, was Mathew Knowles cheating on Tina Knowles while the girls were out on tour, and did the girls know about it? Mathew Knowles had definitely been stepping out on Tina Knowles for the majority of their marriage. And it wasn't just on tour. He had been doing that for before the marriage, during the engagement, after the marriage. And Mathew Knowles is someone that when he's caught, he's sorry. He's deeply apologetic. So he had begged Tina Knowles to stay with him when he had been caught before, promising that he'd never do it again, and definitely promising to her that she's the only woman for him. Now, the thing is, Tina Knowles began to ignore the cheating, and to just focus on doing her costume work for the group. I'm saying that she did withhold sex from him. Mathew Knowles was in love with her. And when Tina Knowles would withdraw, he used that. He would scapegoat her and blame her for being unavailable, and then go and find another woman to deal with. He was into younger women, but I do get that he was someone that was very private about his very, very private about his affairs. As far as the other girls knowing about it, they had they had an inkling. They had inklings of it. Their intuition told them that it was happening, but there was never enough evidence to prove that point. So they never heard a huge battle between Tina and Mathew about that. It was never something that was openly discussed. It was very hush hush around them. So they had a feeling that he was stepping out with other women, but they had no proof that he was stepping out with other women. All right, and now I want to know why wasn't Solange invited to be a member of Destiny's Child? So my cards are saying that Solange was actually a temporary member of Destiny's Child at some point. The ancestors card has come up. So part of Solange's success was through Destiny's Child, or being a member, an honorary member of Destiny's Child, performing with them. And I see that there were opportunities for her to replace a member or two when Letoya or Latavia, Farrah, whoever, Michelle, Kelly, whoever was absent. I don't know. Whoever in season 2 or season 3 of Destiny's Child, whoever was absent, Solange would replace them. Okay. That's how it's showing up to me. And it was because Solange she reveres Destiny's Child. She loved their music, and she wanted to help the group grow. And if there were an obstacle that was keeping the group from being successful, she wanted to be the one to help make it successful. The second row of cards here is indicating that Solange never wanted to be in Destiny's Child's spotlight either. She wanted to be a powerful celebrity figure, and she wanted to command the attention of the masses, but she wanted to do so in a way that had, obviously had been eclectic. But as the Princess of Wands, she's always trying to tame herself, taming her ideas, taming her thoughts, taming her musical identity. And because she's the wild card, she wasn't exactly sure if she was the best fit for Destiny's Child. Finally, I see here that she did want to become a permanent staple in the group, but her soul would not allow her to. She knew that it was not her destiny. When she did ask her parents, they told her no. It left her feeling very disappointed. She, like Kelly, would then compare herself to Beyonce and question her creative ability. Nevertheless, Solange was someone that you gave commands or orders to, and she followed through with them. So she was definitely a plan B. A last minute form of support for the group. Okay. Now I want to know, how did Letoya Luckett, what was it that helped Letoya Luckett to remain successful after Destiny's Child? Letoya Luckett falls in love very easily. I get the card for success, love, and sorrow. So when she was able to remain buoyant and stay afloat in the music industry, largely because of a romantic relationship. She was in a relationship with someone that helped her to rebound her career. But this relationship brought her a lot of heartbreak. So she was long suffering through the situation, but still hopeful that her career that she would be in the celebrity spotlight again, once again. Now, I'm also saying here that she is a prayerful woman as well. She prays a lot, but she's stubborn. She's very, very stubborn, and her stubbornness disadvantages her because she stays in relationships much longer than she should. Those relationships end up stagnating her and causing her not to move forward move forward as quickly in life as she should. I'm also saying here that she had a difficult time adjusting to the lack of exposure after Destiny's Child as well. But that bore within her a hunger for the success, and she stubbornly clung to the idea of being back in the spotlight and having her relationship as well. Finally, I'm saying here that eliminating love from her life, or eliminating romance from her life, is what opened her paths in music. So perhaps her return to music happened after a breakup, or during the greatest moments that she had in a relationship with another musician. So, all things being said, that's how she was able to stay afloat. And remember, she prayed, y'all. Y'all got to get on y'all's prayers. Make sure y'all out here praying, yo. Okay. So my final question that I have is Destiny's Child planning a comeback in any capacity? Okay, so I pulled out a bonus card here, but the cards are pretty much saying that each of the members of Destiny's Child would like to reunite with one another. However, their schedules won't align for that, and they just don't have the time to do it. They would also need to share a common goal. Like they need for there to be. Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. Beyonce has children. Michelle has the availability to do it, but Kelly is hyper focused on her marriage and hyper focused on securing different business ventures. I see that she's going to continue. She's going to try to be back on television. Like when I'm saying television, I mean, like, I know she was on some show as a judge, but I see her being back on TV again. Wouldn't be surprised if she's like on Empire or something. But she's definitely trying to reacquire. She's trying to reacquire her old position in life, which was to, at least be talked about, or at least be on the charts, somewhere on the charts. But again, she's also like, Kelly's confused. Yeah, that's the thing. Kelly is confused about what her next move is going to be. She just knows that she wants to make a lot of money. Michelle is open to it. Beyonce has the children. And it's just, things aren't syncing up as of right now. They're also worried that the group won't have the same magical flair that it used to either. And they're wondering if their sound will be dated, and if they can continue to, if they could even continue to make an impact. Beyonce is the more creative one out of all of them, and they know that simply off the strength of Beyonce's name, they will be able to reach the masses again, but they're not sure about what the sound would be, nor would they be able to justify a reunion other than, doing it for the fans. They want to do the reunion for themselves. That way that, and they feel like if we decide to do this for ourselves, then we're definitely going to produce the best music. The final row of cards is speaking again about the possibilities that this will happen. And the spirits are saying that they will make a lot of money, actually. There is a lot of demand for them. But the truth of the matter is that they won't reach as many people internationally as they thought they would. It will be a very domestic type of success, and it may not be worth it may not be totally worth it, because they would want international success, an international tour, in order if they're going to reunite as a trio, especially given they are working with more money and more notoriety than they had back when they were, I guess, the early 2000s. Now, the bonus card that I pulled was the card for swiftness, and this was to just get a little bit more clarity about where they are going, and they're going to make a swift decision. Like, if they made a decision to reunite, it would be very quick. And let me see, are they going to reunite within the next few years? The spirits are saying it's a strong possibility that could happen. Kelly would have to stop being so stubborn. Kelly's the one that is like, no, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, guys. Kelly would stop having to be so stubborn. She would need to change her attitude towards it. And the only way her attitude would change is by her praying to her ancestors and asking, can they modify her life in such a way to where she could still be at home with her children and her husband, and be able to do, quote unquote, Destiny's Child again. But she just doesn't want to go back on tour. She doesn't want to be away from her family. That's just not up her alley. All right, y'all. You know what time that is. Thank you for tuning into the reading produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to blackspectrumnetwork.com. If you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors, or are interested in deepening your spiritual experiences, subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Before I go, I leave you with the words of wisdom from the these words of wisdom from the rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes, what would Jesus do? I'm your reader, Nexo, and the truth is always collaborative.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. 'Cause when we're here, there's nothing better.